For pretty much my whole life, I've been involved in hockey. From minor and junior hockey, officiating, heck, I even drove a Zamboni and made ice for a few years. And I still play the game to this day. I worked video production for Hockey Canada for a few years, including the 2010 Vancouver Olympics, and then was manager of video production for the Edmonton Oilers for 5 seasons. When I helped document the construction of Rogers Place in Edmonton, I developed a fascination on how these buildings come together. I've visited 34 NHL rinks, and after my time in the NHL, I decided to start this YouTube channel to share with you all that I've learned about them. Who knows, you may just learn something new before you head to your next hockey game. I'm Jeff Nash, and this is Rinks Around the League.
Hey everyone, Jeff Nash here, Rinks Around the League. My last video was a little bit of a how-to video on how to make your outdoor rink, and I had a question, or a few questions come up actually on what's the deal with the coin, and it kind of occurred to me that maybe not everybody knows the story of the Lucky Loonie. So on the ice here, just below center ice here, underneath this blue dot, is actually a loonie, and that tradition started back in 2002 when an Edmonton ice maker, Trent Evans, was in Salt Lake City to help put in the ice for the Winter Olympics. And it's quite common for ice makers to use little pieces of metal, whether it's coins or little washers or something to mark each of the face-off dots. So with all these kind of face-off dots in the circles and center ice, they kind of put something down to kind of mark it and double check their math to make sure that they're putting it in the right spot. Where I used to work, we used little coins to mark all the face-off dots, and that's kind of how it kind of evolved, and I'm pretty sure that's how it evolved with Trent. So he put down a dime first to mark center ice, and then he decided to put a little bit of Canadiana inside the ice during the Olympics. And a loonie, for non-Canadians, is our dollar coin. It's a gold coin, and it has a little loon on there, and it's just kind of nicknamed the Loonie. And Team Canada, the men's hockey team, hadn't won gold at the Winter Olympics for 50 years. So it was kind of a big tournament, a big game. And when they won it, the legend of the Lucky Loonie was born. Now, of course, the ice was put in long before the teams took to the ice, and so it was kind of a tightly guarded secret, so much so that some of the upper management, Wayne Gretzky included, wanted to keep it a secret, because obviously if the Americans found out, they probably would have buried it down, dug out the loonie, and got rid of it. So they kept it kind of a secret, and it was a little nerve-wracking because during the women's game that happened earlier than the men's game, they won gold medal, and there's a picture of a couple of the players pointing down on center ice and kissing center ice and stuff. And I guess upper management was so concerned they actually phoned down and got the women players to get away from it, to not draw attention to it. And of course the men went on to play and beat the Americans to capture gold for the first time in 50 years. And right after the game, after the team photo, the ice makers went out and dug up the loonie. And that loonie is at the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto, and I actually got to see it when I was there quite a few years ago when I visited the Hall of Fame. So that's kind of the original story. Now, of course, the Lucky Loonie, the Canadian Mint has actually come out with its own actual Lucky Loonie to commemorate the legend. And a lot of other people have done it during the Summer Olympics. Some of the beach volleyball players will hide loonies underneath the sand. Other hockey tournaments, they hide them inside the nets if they don't have access to the ice. So it's kind of a cool piece of Canadian history, and it kind of occurred to me that maybe not everybody knew about it. So I decided to kind of fill you guys in, or maybe remind you of a Canadian tradition that started back in 2002 at Salt Lake City. Now, of course, the Olympics are happening again this year in China, and I'm pretty sure they won't be able to put this down at center ice, but maybe they'll be able to hide it somewhere. I'm pretty sure they will. In fact, I'm guaranteeing you that they will be able to hide it somewhere in China when they go. And of course, the World Juniors are here in Edmonton, and you got to think that the Loonie is going to make an appearance somewhere inside Rogers Place for that medal round, hopefully gold medal round for Team Canada. So anyways, if you have any cool Lucky Loonie stories of your own, leave a comment down below. If you're new to the channel, got lots more coming up here in 2022, so stay tuned. Like and subscribe. Head over to social at _the Rinks on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, and of course on Facebook. Anyways, that's a quick one for right now. We'll see you next time.